Hello everyone, this is Rudranath Goswami from Nepal. I have completed my bachelor degree from Western College of Hotel Management, Vijayawada, India. Today again I am back with a new topic, Introduction to the Tourism. First I will discuss about the concepts and meaning of tourism. Tourism in its modern form is not the same as travel of the human history. In the language of Jews, the word tura means study or search and tour is derived from it. In Sanskrit, Paratan means leaving one's residence to travel for the sake of rest and for seeking knowledge. Dasatan is another word which means traveling or economic benefits. Tritatan is the third equivalent which means traveling for religious purpose. Whenever the people travel for the religious purpose in the temple, that is known as Tritatan. Now let us go to the definition of the tourism. First definition of tourism, it was given by Austrian economist Hermann von Scheullard 1910. According to him, the sum total of operation mainly of economic nature which is directly related to entry, stay and movement of foreigner inside or outside a certain city or region is tourism. This says that when a person travels to a certain city or region mostly without with the purpose of economic, then it is called as tourism. According to UNWTO, tourism compromise the activities of person traveling to and staying in the places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business and other purposes. This includes work, staying and suggests that tourists stay at least one night. Tourism is different from travel. In order for tourism to happen, there must be displacement. An individual has to travel using a type of means as transportation. He might travel on foot. Nowadays, it is often the case or poorer society and happens even in more developed ones and concern pilgrims, hiking, etc. Any travel for holidaying, business, or professional trip becomes a part of tourism if it is temporary and is undertaken voluntarily without an aim to earn any livelihood out of it. But all travel is not tourism, rather, travel is one of the important components of the tourism. Now, let us discuss the factors of the tourism. Number one, length of stay. For less than a year, you have to be intending to come home again. That is, the visit must be temporarily and short term. This is the length of the stay that affects the tourism. The second one is the purpose of the visit, which is going to affect the tourism. So let us see how it is going to affect. Whose main purpose of travel is other than exercise of an activity remunerated from within the place visited. You do a certain types of things when you are a tourist. Example, you visit places of interest. You do certain types of activities like sightseeing, visiting his historic site, etc. Now the third one is distance travel. So let us see how the distance travel is going to affect the tourism. Usually environment is intended to exclude trips within the area of usual residence and frequent and regular trips between the domicile and the workplace and other community trips of a routine character. You have to be away from home to be a tourist. So this is also again going to affect the tourism. Now what are the purpose of visit of the tourism? So mostly the people travels from one place to another place for the purpose of business. When they ever have get the holiday package, so they go to make themselves as a refreshment. There are some people who travel from one place to another place for the purpose of study. They have the duration of course of 3 years, some have 4 years. So for the particular period of time they are going to be a as a tourist for that particular place. Fourth one is sports. There are some people who travel from one place to another place for the purpose of sports. They have the game in different countries, so their competition is going over there, so they have to go there in the tourist visa. So this is the purpose of sports. The fifth one is culture. Some people go to visit the culture, and the same, and next one is religion. Some people have the religious beliefs, so they visit temples in different having the in different countries. The next one is the purpose of health. If the particular they have got a certain health problem, so that particular disease is not being cured in your country, then the people travel from one country to another country where the specialized doctor are available, so they travel from their country to another country. So for the certain period of time, that particular the patient is also a tourist, and the person who is going along with the patient is also a tourist for the particular period of time. So sometimes, and the next one is visiting friends and relatives. And so sometimes what happens, our friends are staying in different countries, so we go, or our relatives are staying in different countries, so we go to meet them. So we get the visas, tourist visa, and we travel from one place to their place. So this is also known as the purpose of visit. And there are others purpose for the tourist to visit. So now we shall discuss about the history of tourism in Nepal. What is the history? Nepal was closed to foreigners under the autocratic Rana regime until 1951. It means no tourism was there during the Rana regime. The beginning of tourism in Nepal can be pointed to the first ever successful ascent of the mighty Mount Everest on 29th May 1953 by Tenzing Norgay and Sir Edmund Hillary. Initially, the majority of the tourists were Americans who were the retirement age. In 1955, Nepal issued its first visa on persistent request by Boris Lisanevich, the legendary Russian hotelier, pleaded to then Crown Prince Mahendra to allow Thomas Cook and Son Limited to send tourists to Nepal. He even convinced a group of 20 tourists who were mostly females to travel from Calcutta to Nepal. The first tourists to come through were in 10 Americans and 2 Brazilians. At that time, Himalayan Airways was also started in Nepal. So this was the history of the tourism in Nepal. So now let us discuss the different types of tourism. Number 1, domestic tourism. The domestic tourism within a country by people who live in that country is known as domestic tourism. The second one is international tourism. Tourism between countries, one country to another countries, when the person travel from one country to another country, that is known as international tourism. So international tourism is divided into two categories. The one is inbound tourism and the next one is outbound tourism. Inbound tourism. Tourists having the country of origin to travel to another country is known as inbound tourism. For an example, let us see. When Nepali tourists arrive in Australia, then they are inbound tourists for Nepal, but for Australia they are outbound tourists. The second one is outbound tourism. The tourism entering a country from their country of origin. Example, when Australian tourists arrive in Nepal, they are the outbound tourists for Nepalese. Now let us discuss the importance of tourism. Number 1 is economic progress. The tourism industry aids and supports the foreign exchange reserves. It benefits our country in generating foreign currency. Every year, a large number of tourists visit India or Nepal or any other country. They visit places, stay, and shop in our country. All this contribute to a significant amount of foreign currency generation. Deposit global recession. Nepali tourism grew 6.9% to approximately 42 billion in the year 2010. The next one is source of income. Tourism is a continual source of income for the public and private income. The government changes various forms of tax that is called government revenue. The income generated through these taxes is the public income. The profit earned by a seller by selling items like local artifacts, handicrafts items, etc. to the tourist is called private income. Tourism also helps in employment generation. It created jobs specifically in the hotel industry, hospitality industry, service sector, entertainment and transportation industry. The next one is development of infrastructure. Have you ever noticed how the look and status of a place changes when it is declared a tourist place? Actually, tourism aids and encourages infrastructure development by making way of dams, roads, connectivity, airport improvements, and any other activities that help a tourist in visiting a place in a much better way. The next one is societal progress. Tourism is a wonderful method of cultural exchange. It also encourages societal progress as tourists learn to how to show respect, tolerance, and love for each other when they visit new places. The next one is cultural heritages. Tourism helps explain beauty, art, history, and culture of our country. Different people visiting any country take beautiful cultural concepts along with them and spread those concepts to others while visiting other places of the world. Similarly, the local skills, language, and art get a wide exposure through tourism. Let's discuss what is traveler. Any person who is taking a trip or outside his or her country of residence, irrespective of the purpose of travel, means of transport used, even though he or she may be traveling on foot, they are known as travelers. Tourist. Who are called as a tourist? A tourist is a person who travels to destination outside his or her residence and working place and stays for at least 24 hours for the purpose of leisure or business. So those people are known as a tourist. The next word is someday visitor or excursionist. So who are these peoples? An excursionist is a person who temporarily visits a destination and stays for less than 24 hours for the purpose of leisure or business, but not for a transit. So these are the people who visit for a certain period of time, that is less than 24 hours. So these people are called as someday visitors or excursionists. For an example, a Canadian restaurant takes a short trip to the USA without staying overnight. So these people are known as excursionists. The end of my topic, introduction to the tourism. Thank you for listening. I will be soon back with a new topic, introduction to the hotel industry. Thank you very much. Have a nice time.